On an occasion once again for the still 18-year-old Lachlan Galvin, looking around at the Keith Barnes stand, a couple of deep breaths. Watch out for the Galvinator. He'll be up against Jerome Hughes on his side of the field tonight. That'll be quite a battle between the 18-year-old and the Kiwi international. We're underway here on Super Saturday. It's Leichhardt. It goes down to Lachlan Galvin, and they'll bring it forward here through Bolle, who charges at the Melbourne Storm defence. Strong carry to get things going.
What a start. Bolle off the back fence. Great carry.
Ainu here will play 25 short of the halfway line. Comes across to Uto Ikamanu. Nelson Asafa-Solomona in the starting side for the Melbourne Storm. There is the first carry once again. And the Storm here in a former Tiger in Sean Blaw. Too slow and getting off Uto Ikamanu.
Yeah, you feel for Blaw here. I think he was just a bit of concern for Uto Ikamanu. A bit of a head clash there. He was just actually checking if his former teammate was actually okay. The referee having none of it. Big night for Uto Ikamanu on the radar of the Melbourne Storm. And a chance to impress Craig Bellamy.
He certainly has been in the headlines in recent times. Dragons have dropped out of the chase for the big front rower as Bateman will play it here in Melbourne territory. Comes through Clemmer in the starting side after being named on the bench for the Tigers. Here is Fainu once again. Play it here for Coruscant. Comes back to Clemmer. Runs there to be tackled around the legs by King. Good work. And now Uto Ikamanu keeps it going. Galvin, Fainu, Buller, nice hands from the Tigers. They're 20 metres out from the Melbourne line. There's still 2 plays remaining in this set. Uto Ikamanu back on the inside for Blaw. Grabbed by the shoulders there. Asafa-Solomona. Contact was okay. Comes across through Caesar. Is a chance for Bateman. Try and keep it alive. He won't. And that will be the changeover.
Gee, what a start from the Tigers. Talk about an energy back at Leichhardt Oval. The skill from the young bucks out on the left-hand side. Galvin and Fainu, Samuela. And then Uto Ikamanu, a couple of nice touches. That one on the inside to Bolle. Could well be of a penalty. And the Tigers throwing plenty at Melbourne early.
Well, it's Asafa-Solomona to work it away here for Melbourne. 2.5 gone. To the Tigers. A bit of pressure on the Melbourne Storm defence. They survived that through that clutching tackle of Asafa-Solomona. Flat kick here from Hughes. Goes down the board to play it off the boot. And he'll bring it back. Maybe stopped just outside the Tigers' 30. 17th on the ladder. 4 wins, 11 losses against first. But it promises to be a lot tighter than that here tonight. Coruscant gives it to Justin Olam. Flying into the fray here against his old team. 104 games with the Melbourne Storm over 6 seasons before linking with the Tigers. He returns from a knee complaint. He's had plasma injections in that knee. And he's back here to take on the old team for the first time. Here's Clemmer. He works it towards the 30 of the Melbourne Storm as Coruscant comes up behind him at dummy half. Plenty of tackles up their sleeves. Caesar turns it back on the inside for Fainu. Stopped there by King and also Hughes. And flat through the middle as it goes to Bolle. Wearing the 10, playing in the lock forward role with Clemmer coming into the starting side. Coruscant threads the needle. Galvin beats a couple, still standing. Finds Fainu, comes back to Fatape. He'll play it there 5 metres out. And footwork again from Lachlan Galvin, who's here at first receiver. Comes back through Clemmer. Coruscant grubbers. Caesar chasing. Bounce beat everybody. Melbourne under pressure. And they'll keep it in the field of play through Grant Anderson.
Yeah, Caesar's still down. He's in some trouble in the in goal. Gee, it was a bludger of a bounce. Great kick from Coruscant. And collected there in the collision. Was there a stray elbow from Ryan Pappenhausen?
That's why Caesar stayed on the ground. There certainly wasn't contact there between Pappenhausen and Caesar. Play on for the moment. See if the bunker has anything further to say about that. As Solomona will play it here. 3 tackles gone, still at their own 10. Now carried by Warbrick. They'll bring it just out beyond the 20. Garlick waiting at dummy half. Still there for Harry Grant. Tested again tonight with that sternum problem. Howarth down the short side here, under pressure, did well, got it to Katoa, throws a dummy. Pappenhausen still there. Hughes taken by Coruscant. Saving the day there, the skipper. Pappenhausen on the last. Wishart will kick it wide. A chance out on the edge. Grabbed, flicked back infield from Bradley. I'll keep it alive. Comes back to King. He will try to find support through the middle. Garlick shifts it on, and now it's Hughes who puts it in the air. Katoa makes a two-handed grab. He keeps it alive. Pappenhausen, he slipped it out the back. Still the last. Hughes, beware the 4th kick. Here's a chance. Dewey under pressure. He ends up with it, and the Tigers hang on.
Wow, what about that for a moment? Just continued to keep the ball alive, the Melbourne Storm. And Hughes rifling it across field, Blore competing hard, and Dewey did well to get back. Gee, what a start from both sides. A nice raid down that right edge from the Melbourne Storm.
Ball out the back, ends up in the hands of Coruscant. Galvin runs towards Hughes. Taken down by the Melbourne Storm halfback. 10 on their own side of halfway. There's a chance for Caesar coming across the field, or put them under pressure out the back. It'll be knocked on by the Tigers.
Double knock on.
Pass there that didn't need to be thrown in that situation.
No, well, Caesar came from that right-hand side. He saw something he liked down the short side come flying down there. But it was the work, I think, from Howarth at marker that did a great job. Did a really good job. David Clemmer on report. Okay. With some high contact. The Tigers just getting drawn into that offload type style of footy that Melbourne just came up with, and now they've come up with a big error. Melbourne now with a scrum on halfway and a full set inside the Tigers half.
There is Hughes with the scrum feed. Chance to put some real pressure on the Tigers. Wishart will play it here. Get the set of 6 going. Garlick, it comes very flat there. Solomona did well not to knock it on. His back turn, potentially looking for an offload there, but wrapped up in the end by Uto Ikamanu. King to Hughes, ball out the back. Comes to Howarth, who runs towards Galvin, and then Justin Olam lends his weight to the tackle to take him to ground. They're at the 20, midway through this set. Katoa down the short side, trying to take on Coruscant. Good tackle by Special K once again. Here is Hughes. Turns it underneath where Liero will just work it towards the uprights. And this is the last for Melbourne. Hughes doesn't get a chance. It comes back to the short side here for Eli Katoa. They like what they see with Katoa in a match-up there, but it's just not working at the moment.
No, and it was a poor option. Craig can't believe it. Katoa had already had a carry only 2 plays before. And out to that left-hand side. There was Hughes, Wishart and Ryan Pappenhausen all on that long side. The ball needed to go there, and he got it wrong that time, Garlick.
Oh, the Tigers put it down here. Clemmer pounds his fist into the turf. Comes back to the Melbourne Storm, who have it just outside the 10 as Anderson will play it here. Through Garlick. Come back to the middle where Liero will just take the tackle there of the Tigers. So a full set here off the turnover from David Clemmer. Deep hand side set. They just try and pound it through the middle, through the big boy. Asapa Solomona will play it there again for Garlick. Here is Hughes at the back. Pappenhausen puts a step on. Wow. Still going, reaching for the line. He lost it as he tried to put it down.
That was brilliant from Pappenhausen and Hughes. What about the footwork from Ryan Pappenhausen and the re-acceleration back on the inside? He cuts through the tackle there of Samuel Afenu. This one here just exploded through David Clemmer and thought he was through the tackle of Buller, but agonisingly short as he reached out. Pappenhausen going close and looking sharp early.
Let's go, 10 seconds, right. Let's go.
Tigers hang on once again. Pappenhausen 10 centimetres short there of planting it down on the try line as the Tigers scrum away just inside the scrum clock. Take it forward through Charlie Staines.
It has been a frantic start from both sides.
And it's season now outside the 30. It has been frantic, as you say, Mick. And
8 offloads already was.
Melbourne have had their chances, so have the Tigers a couple of times inside the 20. Uta Ikamanu here on the halfway line. Coruscant, some numbers down that short side. Bateman running a long way before he stopped there eventually by Garlick. Coruscant comes back to Caesar. Here's Clemmer shifting it on. Galvin out the back. Buller runs towards Howarth. It'll be high to contact. And a chance for 2 points should the Tigers want to take the lead.
That was beautiful work from young Lachlan Galvin. The play was going a little sideways. There's the contact, not too much in it there. Penalty sufficient from Jack Howarth. Both players slipping. But the work from Galvin to square up Melbourne's defensive line.
Make sure you're on the mark for us, please, Aiden.
Gee, that created some space for Buller.
Let's go, mate. You're in front of me, thank you.
A couple of times down, Buller sweeping around the back. They have looked sharp on this edge. We'll see if they work it through Galvin and Buller once again in this set. Here is Galvin, giving it to Clemmer. Goes towards the uprights. Tigers faithful in the Latcham-Robinson stand, try to get the chant going as they go on the attack. Coruscant showing it a couple of times, holds it up. Caesar out the back. Buller, they've got them. Charlie Staines, the Forbes Ferrari, dives in for the Tigers. It was beautifully worked on that right-hand side, and they make the most of the possession off the back of the penalty.
Well, we spoke about him before the game, and if they were going to win this tonight, it was going to come on the back of this crafty number 9, Appy Coruscant. Boy, watch this for tempo and deception of his ball playing as he gets across field. The little show there, he holds up the defensive line beautifully. Caesar at full speed. And there's Jerome Buller. You mentioned it, Warren. He's been out the back of their shape a number of times. But the work of Coruscant to get across field, great tempo. Holds the ball there on his hip, and that just stalled the Melbourne defensive line, and their left edge collapsing in. A lot of new combinations on the edges for Melbourne at the moment, and a bit of disconnection, and it's the ball playing of Appy Coruscant. Too good, simply too good.
The 8th wonder of the world is a light early on here. The Tigers 4 points to nil. Charlie Staines, 4th try for the season. He hit the scene with the Panthers in a blur, didn't he? Scoring 20 tries in his first 20 games. They have dried up somewhat over his next 40 games. And he grabs the first one here this evening. And now the skipper from the sideline to try and make it 6 points to nil. Towards the northern end, which will be redeveloped in the coming season, with a grandstand placed at the Parramatta River end of Leichhardt Oval. Coruscant bending it back. He's done a Matt Burton. Banked one off the post, and it's 6 points to nil.
Charlie Staines, the 30th try of his career, comes off the back of some great ball movement from the Tigers, who have shown they are willing to chance their arm here tonight at Leichhardt Oval. A great start at their spiritual home, where they're trying to win a 4th straight game for the first time since 2011. Off to the perfect start thanks to that man and the locals as the hill fills up on the Wayne Pearce Hill. They are loving that start from their side.
It is, very jam-packed once again here tonight. No surprise there. 3 games again in 2025, the Tigers at Leichhardt Oval. That announced during the week in the lead-up to this game. Boy will play it. Coruscant stumbling and run down the short side there, trying to duck under the markers. Ball comes free, and Jared Sutton says play on for the Melbourne Storm. He hesitated for a moment, but it is play on here. So Melbourne a chance to respond immediately. Asaba Solomona gets the bumper bars up. Puts him into the chest there of Uta Ikamanu. Hughes on the left-hand side finds Wishart, Pappenhausen, Anderson. Here's the player who took the lead run of the decoy and opened up that space for Buller and Staines in the Tigers' try. He'd like to respond here. Sean Bloor. Charges at his old club. There's 4 of them there to take him to ground. And he plays it quickly enough from Garlick. Comes to Wishart off the right foot. Poking his nose through the line. He stopped 5 away. Here's King. Short ball for Asava Solomona. Fainu under pressure there. Some help from Uta Ikamanu. Last play, Hughes. He'll grab her in behind them. Taken dead by Fa'atape.
Yeah, nice moment there, Jerome Hughes. Driving the ball into the in goal. You might see it here. He just feeds it in behind Fa'atape there, and in the background he picks up his former teammate, Justin Olam, lifts him off the ground. Nice bit of sportsmanship from the Melbourne halfback, and starting to take control, Jerome Hughes. Geez, good to watch Jerome Hughes, and he's even better to watch.
Happy goes short. The Melbourne Storm allow it to bounce, and then Sean Bloor gets a hand up, plays some volleyball, and taps it back, and they end up with possession there through Bradley. Here's King. Leaves past Coruscant. Deep on the attack once again. Garlick barking instructions there from dummy half Loiero to Hughes. Katoa, it opened up for him. They've been working to this right-hand side from the opening whistle, and finally they find a way through.
Yeah, just about to say Jerome Hughes. Yeah, for people at home, when you're watching, you don't always get to see just the work off the ball and the organisation and the leadership of Jerome Hughes. He's been just pulling and prodding at different stages in this opening quarter of the game, of this right edge for Melbourne. Just looking to challenge guys back on the inside, getting his lead runners leading inside Galvin, testing them at different stages, and that was brilliant. Nice ball out here, the work from the inside. And he gets Fainu to over chase. And on the inside, Utoi Kamanu just unable to go with Katoa, who has formed a beautiful combination since coming across the Tasman and linking up with the Melbourne Storm, and in particular Jerome Hughes on that right-hand side. But boy, that is brilliant halves play from Hughes.
Well, no surprise, they come out and they keep attacking that left edge defensive combination of the Tigers, of Fainu and also Galvin. So a little football between them in the NRL. 20th game for Fainu. Galvin, of course, and he's 13th tonight. Wishart, he pilots it through for 2 points, and we're locked up here at Leichhardt Oval, 6 apiece.
Eli Katoa having the best try-scoring season of his 5 years in the NRL. That's 8 tries in his 16 games. Been a constant hole-running threat, been an aerial threat on that Storm's right edge, and he's only missed 13 minutes of football for Melbourne all season. So durable and reliable out there, especially having a guy like Jerome Hughes creating space for him. That's another try assist for Jerome, who's been on fire and really embracing the Melbourne captaincy. As Craig Bellamy said, some guys sink a little bit when you put the C next to his name. Not this guy, Jerome Hughes, been on fire. 17 try assists now to start the season.
Well, the coach has been effusive in his praise. Here's a deep kick up, almost a mix-up there between Pappenhausen and King in the end. Pappenhausen got there in time to save their blushes. Ball comes free, ripped out, says Gerard Sutton. And Melbourne finds some easy metres here with a kick coming up.
He'll be disappointed with this the last couple of moments, Happy Coruscant, after setting up a beautiful try to Charlie Staines. An error the next set with a run from dummy half, and now a penalty. Oh, they failed to find touch.
As we watch the replay there, we come back live with Aidan Caesar in possession. Melbourne with the cardinal sin of not finding the line off the kick. So it's the Tigers trying to hit back now. Going through Uta Ikamanu, who will play it 30 metres away. Coruscant, Bolle now, Galvin searching for Buller once again. Steps inside the charging Will Warbrick. Wrapped up eventually here by Katoa. Fainu comes back to Galvin. And back to the middle where Clemmer takes it forward to be stopped underneath by Asava Solomona, and Loiero over the top. Bolle stepping off the left foot. Solomona, good contact once again. Tigers with one more, well, make it 6 more off the back of that set restart. Galvin decides to have a crack himself up against Katoa and also Hughes. Coruscant dropping back. Clemmer, short ball there, nothing doing for Uto Ikamanu. Quick play the ball though, Coruscant finds Bolle! Space through the middle of Melbourne's defence. Bolle scores. The Tigers back in front here at Leichhardt.
Oh, saying great work from that man Bolle. He's had a terrific start. He came off the back fence and set the tone of the night. But again, it's Happy Coruscant on the back of the Bolle set restart charge. Right under the post, Ernie side, another set of 6. There's the failed touch finder from Tyron Wishart. What a great piece of work there from Adam Dewey to keep the ball in. And then Happy Coruscant just bouncing against the grain out of dummy half, finds Pappenhausen in the line, and a poor effort from Eli Katoa, the try scorer, down the other end, just reaching, but it's the footwork, the power, and the energy from Fonua Bolle, and he gets the Tigers second. Geez, had a good start, Warren.
Quick play the ball. He knew exactly what he had to do. He set the tone off the very first play from the kickoff. He came, as you said, Mick, charging off the back fence. And here he is from close range, stepping through to, in a moment, make it 12 points to 6 midway through this opening half.
I feel like he's been one of their shining lights this year. It's been, obviously, results-wise, a disappointing year for the Tigers so far, but there's been the unearthing of some of their younger stars. And he is one of them, along with Galvin, and obviously Buller continues, Samuela Fainu, and Bolle's been terrific at times.
Coruscant adds 2 more. It is 12 points to 6. Yes, game 49 tonight for Fonua Bolle. Plenty of experience now, and wearing the 10 jersey, but playing more the 13 role with Clemmer coming into the starting side. And the pass again, isolating Katoa there. You saw Pappenhausen at the A defender, the one next to the play the ball, having to respect what Coruscant can do from dummy half himself and taking on the line. And Asava Solomona goes straight up the tunnel there for the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, Kamikamica into the action as the rain starts to tumble now at Leichhardt Oval.
It's been that sort of weekend up and down the east coast of New South Wales. Plenty of it in Coffs Harbour yesterday evening and also during the afternoon. Back here in Sydney today, it's Clemmer working it forward, and the rain has followed us down the coast. Coruscant here from dummy half. To the right-hand side where the try scorer punches his nose through the line. Stopped there by the Melbourne defence though, as Bateman, with his speed, it's across the advantage line. And here, 2 more up their sleeve at the back end of the set. They work it away from the sideline there through Adam Dewey, playing game number 3 in his return from his 3rd knee reconstruction tonight. Kick here from Galvin, goes deep. In fact, it'll bounce in the field of play, but bound beyond the dead ball line. And it will be 7 tackles from Melbourne from their 20.
Yeah, good set from the Tigers after points, and just not the execution of the kick that Galvin would have liked. Melbourne Storm now with 7 tackles and a chance to get themselves back down the other end of the field.
Breeze at their back. That might have been a factor there on that kick. And Galvin at the end of the set gives Melbourne a chance to put some pressure on. The final few plays in this set, chance there. Now they've played the ball on the ground. He wasn't back at his feet. The referee allows Melbourne to play on. Kamikamica on this right-hand side of the field. Here is Liera. Downstairs to you, Jake.
The news from the Melbourne Storm, guys, we saw Nelson Asafa Solomona go up the tunnel. They think it's a hamstring injury. He's been assessed by the training staff at the moment, but not looking good to return.
It is the season of the hamstring. They continue here tonight. Hughes kicks. Pressure on Buller here. Hughes hit the deck there after the kick. It'll be a penalty for the contact from Katoa on Buller while he was still in the air.
Yeah, that wasn't necessary. That Katoa coming through really needed to compete for the footy. And as soon as he made collision there with Buller, gave the referee no option Thought Clemmer was lucky, didn't give away a penalty on the kick. Pressure on Jerome Hughes. It's certainly an area that we've seen the referees take the pedal off a little in recent weeks.
The Tigers off the back of the cheap meters. Forward here through Samuela Fainu, taking on the top team on the ladder. They are not even remotely overawed by the challenge that sits in front of them here tonight. Coruscant comes across to Bateman, who skips to the outside there of Wishart.
Been excellent.
Blore. And also Anderson take him to ground. It's Clemmer through the middle. Galvin showing it, digging into the line. Buller again. Olam up against Howarth. Two big bodies. Discrepancy in age between them. They are both very solidly built. Ball hit the deck. Now the play on. Now comes out the back again. The Tigers going backwards. Caesar here looking for a carrier. It's Dewey who goes straight through the middle. Runs to Pappenhausen. Big Fang taken down there in a tackle. What contact was that? Bradley coming back, who forced the ball loose.
Yeah, Adam Dewey's in some trouble here.
No try.
He was
We're just looking to confirm that it is a knock on by the Tigers here. That it's not knocked out by Melbourne, and then obviously the grounding if it's knocked out by Melbourne.
absolutely rocked off his feet. Didn't see him coming. He was just trying to shrug off Pappenhausen. Doesn't see the work on the outside from Bradley.
Kane Bradley is just making a tackle on Adam Dewey.
And it's the tackle from Pappenhausen and around that lower leg, and then he gets buckled over from the contact coming in the other direction from Kane Bradley.
The ball is knocked on by Adam Dewey, travelling forward over the ground. We have a decision.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, anytime Adam Dewey goes down and doesn't immediately get back to his feet, your heart is in your mouth.
Well, him and Ryan Pappenhausen. Anytime you see any collision like that with either of them, you just wish them luck. It was great work staying alive and showing good speed to try and get on the outside of Pappenhausen, and then just absolutely flogged from the outside of Bradley.
Never saw him coming.
No.
And no clue he was there and got cleaned up. The good news is he's back on his feet.
Stay down.
Right-hand side of the Tigers' defensive line as Melbourne feed the scrum and work it here through Pappenhausen. It was an awful play before Dewey just split them.
Yeah. He's looked sharp too, Pappenhausen, after missing last week back into the side tonight. His speed and his ability to be able to change direction is still at its premium.
There's Couture running towards Fainu and Galvin once again. Combination he beat. Scored the first try. Melbourne Storm. Through the middle, Aero showing it, nothing doing, so he hangs onto it. We'll work it back here. Good meters after contact and puts them on the front foot as King and Hughes. Pass came off the hip there of Couture, and it's going to be ruled a knock on.
Clock's on.
Well, this is twice now that this has happened.
Okay, yeah.
They may challenge this because the pass did look to be
Right.
backwards out of the hands there of Hughes.
Melbourne challenging the on-field decision of a knock-on.
Hughes was filthy with Jack Howard's starting position. He's just making it extremely difficult to be able to get the ball behind Katoa and in his hands.
The ball contacts the left arm of Eli Katoa. And from that point, the ball travels forward towards the opponent's dead ball line. This is a knock-on. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Not off the hip, off the left arm of Katoa. And yes, as you could see there, the ball travelling forward. Melbourne, without their challenge now for the remaining 55 minutes, and that has the coach a little perturbed.
Yeah, you can see there, he's sitting too far on the outside. Jack Howard needs to be more behind Katoa in that block shape. And it's just too difficult for Jerome Hughes to be able to feed that pass through. And an error, and an unfortunate one for the Melbourne Storm.
Ryan, stay in. Okay, clock on. Break.
From the scrum win, Coruscant comes across to Caesar. Tigers by a converted try, 15 out from half-time. Ikamanu here in the ground heavily. Now Bolle through the middle. Galvin to Fainu. Beat the tackle of Katoa. Still going. Good work in the end by Bronson Garlick and also Josh King. Now Matamua is out there for the Tigers. Take it inside the 20. Options either side. Coruscant comes back to Bolle. Again, his footwork. He had Garlick beaten. It was Liero in the end who stopped him going all the way. Matamua comes to Caesar. Over the top. Staines has to put the brakes on. Comes back to Wade and Caesar. Gives it off to Bateman, who fends away from one. Bolle and Howarth stop his progress. Garlick finishes him off. Last play for the Tigers. Short side. Galvin grubbering. Knocked down by Melbourne. Then knocked on.
They are up and about. They are alive, the Tigers. They are moving the ball. The footwork of their young athletic forwards. Samuela Fainu, Fanua Bolle, Matamua onto the field now. Bateman skipping across through the middle. And this man, Galvin, just chasing the game. He's always at the contest.
He has a very sharp, short kicking game. Quickly to you, Jake.
Confirmation, guys. Nelson, a hamstring injury, will not return this evening.
Thank you for that.
Blow.
I think they're in the third rotation quite obviously as Coruscant comes out to Galvin. Here is Ikamanu standing on the left-hand side of the field, and on the angle, something to stop there for the Melbourne defence. Slow play the ball, had to be a set restart. Now he wants to trade blows with Trent Liero. It's play on for the Tigers. There's a blow up here behind the action. The two big boys wanted to go on with it. Trent Liero fired up there. They came to grips in the play the ball and couldn't be separated. He wanted to play the ball. Liero gives away the obvious set restart. And then they went on with it. Was there a punch through?
Really good game so far. I'm not going to let that start the record. Happens again, you're both going to start losing players. Simple as that. Tackle one here.
It didn't look so. Utoi Kamanu just had a gutful of Liero holding on to him. It's a big fend into the face, and then Liero comes back, and then
jumper punches, I guess, if anything, you describe them as. Nothing more than that. Play on. Pass from dummy half of Coruscant. Bounce up there for Caesar. Bateman will play it inside the Melbourne 10. Great chance for the Tigers to take a double-figure lead right here. With Matamua, his pass goes to ground. I don't know that he ever really had the ball securely. Hughes is stopped there. That's a fairly cheap turnover by the Tigers.
And Craig Bellamy wasting no time to get Trent Liero, who is leaving the field now. Christian Welsh into the action. And the Melbourne Storm just playing a little frustrated at the moment. It's been on the... Oh, Wishart!
A big dummy and goes straight through. Anderson pushing up in support. He runs to Buller. He finds Anderson. He sets sail for the corner. Buller comes to him and takes him down 15 metres out. On a run by Wishart. Melbourne fanned out to the right-hand side. Garlick gives it to Christian Welsh to find a passage through the middle of the Tigers' defensive line. Garlick again. Kamikamitha. He charges hard. Set restart for Melbourne. And the tackles they need right here from on top of the line. Hughes fires it long. Pappenhausen at speed. Off the right foot. Gets into the in-goal area. He gets it down. And they were clinical there after the long run by Tyrone Wishart.
Boy, what a moment that was from Tyrone Wishart. The Melbourne Storm under immense pressure, and the Tigers growing in confidence with this Leichhardt crowd behind them. And he just jabs the dummy, gets in between Utoi Kamanu and Bateman. And Buller did a tremendous job just to check Wishart, then re-accelerate to take down Anderson. And then out to this right-hand side, the combination we knew it would be tonight. Jerome Hughes, Ryan Pappenhausen just holds the pass up, lofts it out in front of the full-flighted Ryan Pappenhausen, who has had some sharp moments. That's a great ball out in front. And then he just cuts his former teammate in half, Justin Olam. Too fast, too agile. Ryan Pappenhausen, what a moment. Great to have him back, was.
There's a Tiger in Holden Cup back in 2017. Quite the handshake with Grant Anderson. The boys are smoking them if they've got them. They've made it 12 points to 10. That was interesting.
Yeah, that's...
He played against the Melbourne Storm, in fact, in that one game. He played in Holden Cup here for the Tigers at Leichhardt Oval. Tonight, he's back in purple.
Gee, hasn't he been a tremendous replacement? Tyrone Wishart of Cameron Munster. No Harry Grant again in the side tonight. And the combination of Hughes and Wishart has been tremendous.
And try and draw them level. Wishart, after a try he helped create, can't add to 2 points. It's 12 points to 10 here. Tigers still on top, 10 minutes out from half-time on Super Saturday.
Ryan Pappenhausen, he returns from that heel injury for just his second game since round 9. That's now 5 tries in his past 4 games. Never to play an NRL game here at Leichhardt until tonight. And he did play junior reps for Balmain, however, so he does know this ground very well, getting in on the Try July celebrations as well. And you imagine that one hurts the Tigers faithful a little more, knowing that Ryan Pappenhausen was one of their men. He comes here to Leichhardt and gets a try.
A freeway of outside backs leaving Tiger Town. They head to Melbourne for a while then. Marika Korobetti, Josh Adokar, Ryan Pappenhausen.
You're just watching that replay of that pass from Jerome Hughes. He held that up perfectly and just got Pappenhausen at full speed. It was always going to be a difficult battle for Justin Olam.
Garlick here from dummy half. Comes across the King. Somebody else along with Jerome Hughes, who came in for enormous praise from the coach in recent times, given the work that he's done through the middle. He's very underrated. Here's Hughes going to the line, gets away from Tape, beats Seyfarth. He finds Warbrick on the outside. What a piece of play by Jerome Hughes. Absolutely brilliant. He just unpicks the Tigers' defence and finds a charging Warbrick for the Storm to hit the lead.
He just keeps elevating his presence in this game, Jerome Hughes. It's great work from Christian Welch to drag in the attention of Lachlan Galvin. This left edge of the Tigers having some troubles, but sit back and enjoy this. He is an absolute gun, an absolute freak, Jerome Hughes, and he's just growing in stature as one of the elite halfbacks in this game. And a little out of sight, out of mind at times in terms of the conversation being down in Melbourne. But boy, he is at the top with all the great halfbacks in our game at the moment. Jerome Hughes at his running best, slicing and dicing, and sets it up beautifully for Warbrick. 3 try assists for Jerome Hughes already in the opening half.
Well, they just all bit on the decoy runner. Galvin heading infield. It gave Hughes the chance to get on the outside, and he just kept turning them inside out from that point on.
He is so good. He is so good, and he's just getting better. He's so good to watch.
Wishart here, midway between the uprights and the sideline to make it a 4-point lead for Melbourne. The Tigers scored first and regained the lead to make it 12-6, but now it's Melbourne. Lead at 16 points to 12 here, 8 out from half-time, and just watch it and enjoy it once again. Olam was there. They had plenty of options. Tape couldn't stop him, and in the end, he just opened up a little run down the sideline there for Will Warbrick. Try number 3.
Just watching it from the commentary box, wasn't it such a tight space? He had to squeeze that ball through to Warbrick. It had to be timed to perfection, and he did it beautifully. Hughes, that pass.
Only Ben Hunt has more try assists so far this season in the NRL. The kickoff goes down to the man of the moment, who finds Christian Welch. And he'll play it here, 10 out from the Melbourne line. Important here for the Tigers, having done so well to this point of the game, and now Melbourne have the ascendancy. Important they just don't let some points leak away and trail by 10 or more going into half-time. Melbourne getting warmer as the night goes on. Law on that left-hand side. He's looking at 10 on his own side of halfway. He'll play it here for Anderson, who Comes back, link up with Garlick, and now King. A little away from the sideline at least, but nothing doing on that play. Slowish play the ball as well, so Hughes, the kick from outside the 40. It'll hang there on the breeze, which is favouring the Tigers in this first half. Buller off the left and the right. Brings it back to almost the 30 there, where he'll play it for the teenager Galvin. Fa'atape. Sal on Charlie Staines. For the first try of the game for the Tigers back in the 12th minute. Just outside their own 40 is Coruscant. Finds Adam Dewey. Looks as though he's recovered from that knock from Kane Bradley. And that big run through the middle. Coruscant on Seyfarth here. Bring it back. Chance for an attacking kick here. They supply one. Coruscant comes across to Galvin. We see some room, so he goes to Wallum. Fa'atape up against Pappenhausen, who cuts him down about a half a metre short. A try saver from Pappenhausen.
That was absolutely outstanding from Ryan Pappenhausen. As we see Galvin adventuring, did a great job to get on with that 2-on-1 situation. And Ryan Pappenhausen just launching his frame, his slot frame into the robust Fa'atape and bringing him down centimetres before the try line. Gee, what a confidence boost physically there for Ryan Pappenhausen. Tigers still throwing punches. Get Galvin again down that left-hand side. Well, this won't help.
Melbourne given a leg up here from just outside their own 20. Tigers taking too long there. They'll get the penalty as opposed to the set restart because they're still inside their own 40. They've done so well. The Brains Trust would have been so pleased with what the Tigers had done through that opening 28 minutes or so. Here they are, Melbourne coming to get them just before the break.
Yeah, a couple of critical moments now. Some ill discipline. We've seen Bateman and Utoi Kamanu take the show and go on Wishart. That's been a huge momentum swing for the Melbourne side. So a couple of key moments that have really hurt the Tigers after a hot start here at Leichhardt.
It's Welsh sliding to go to Wishart. Law on the angle. Good stop in the end. Tackle made by Caesar in particular. Flat pass for King, who puts it down. West breathe a sigh of relief. A rare mistake from Josh King.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with that, King. Ultra consistent and in terrific form for Melbourne. And there was a real chance. Back against the grain towards this side of the field. Had King been able to find a pass to Hughes, there was certainly some space, and I think that's what he was thinking. A little lack of concentration from the Melbourne front rower.
Stay in. They can do that. Stay in. Let's go, Aiden.
The scrum just outside their own 20. It's Olin relishing this chance to be fit, ready to go tonight against his old club as Coruscant back towards the middle. Look it forward there. Good handoff by the Tigers, and here is Coruscant rolling across the halfway line. So Fainu, first involvement, serves it up on a dish for Coruscant. Now they've got a chance. Here's Bateman searching back towards the middle. Samuela Fainu there, taken down by Hughes. Quick play the ball though. Coruscant back to Matamua, stopped by Blore. Tigers with some numbers to that right-hand side. As they pull them back through the middle of the field there for Brinson Garlick, who's been left well behind the play. Now there is going to be a whistle for a leg lift there by the Melbourne Storm. As there's concern back behind the play for Garlick.
Yeah, Suafa'alonga on his feet off the bench here, but Bronson Garlick's in some serious trouble. I think it might be a lower back complaint. And the electric Suafa'alonga about to be injected here at Leichhardt Oval. Gee, there's some attacking Arsenal when he's on the field. Pappenhausen, Hughes, Fa'alonga, and Garlick coming from the field, unfortunately.
Well, he is very proper, Bronson Garlick, and I think you're right, Mick. It is looks to be a lower back problem. Here he is chasing out. Well, he just buckled there without a glove being laid on him.
That is bizarre.
That is rarely a good sign.
Yeah.
Well, there was an impact before that. He just felt the effects of it in trying to close that hole through the middle of the field. So Fa'alongo out there now will head all the way out to the left wing defensively for the moment. Galvin comes back here to Sione. Fainu still going. Takes Kamikamica a long way with him. Tackles to play with here for the Tigers. Coruscant, he slow plays them again. Comes to Staines, who runs to Fa'alongo. He'll play it for Dewey. Down the short side himself. He saw a bit of space. He's gone close, but Anderson is able to stop him on top of the line. And he's put it down. Complaints there from Adam Dewey. He realises he's made the mistake. Boy, what a chance wasted by the Tigers here.
Yeah, and I said that their footy to start the game tonight, it troubled the Melbourne Storm, but whether it's defensive errors, whether it's a bit of ill discipline or a lacking concentration, there are just key moments that is driving that man there mad, Benji Marshall, because he knows when they get it right that they are a handful. And Adam Dewey coming up with a play the ball error as we see a real reshuffle to this Melbourne side. So Tyrone Wishart's gone to dummy half with Garlick off the field. Fa'alongo has gone to that far left wing, and it looks like now Anderson has gone into the 5'8" position.
He's played some time in that role in recent times for the Melbourne Storm, but he finds himself back there once again with the injury to Garlick. Fa'alongo here. We'll bring it out to the 30. What a threat he is now. Back end of his opening half. Some tired forwards out there. He'll head back to the wing for the moment as King will play it. I don't know that he was entirely square when he did. Kamikamica brings it back to the halfway line. Last play here for Melbourne. 60 seconds remaining in this opening half. Hughes it is. He'll kick long out towards Charlie Staines, who was back there ready for a kick to that side of the field. Steps past a chase there of Anderson and still going. Eventually wrapped up by Kane Bradley. Tigers get the last say here. Dewey out to his left-hand side finds Fa'atape. Ripping up through Howarth and also Hughes. Finding their own side of halfway as Olive picked off there. Good defence by Wishart now. In the middle of the field with Christian Welch riding shotgun there. Comes to Caesar, who kicks out wide. Staines wants a bounce, gets one straight from room service. His second kick, though, taken dead by Pappenhausen.
Yeah, nice play, Aiden Caesar. Playing it right to the halftime whistle, and Staines doing a good job on that far sideline. Really holding his width, but Pappenhausen perfectly positioned. It's been all class in the first half, Pappenhausen.
Well, they saved the day there through the brilliant fullback, Ryan Pappenhausen, back in purple tonight. And at halftime here at Leichhardt, it's the Storm who lead the Tigers 16 points to 12. Adam Dewey standing by to get us underway. It was the kids who were the entertainment at halftime of the big relay race, making their way off the field at the southern end of the stadium.
No Asifa Solomona also doing that hamstring in the opening half, so certainly that will hurt Melbourne's forward rotation. Coruscant was instrumental in that opening 20 minutes of the game. They'll need him as we continue to wait just with those young kids behind the dead ball line. Boy, they had some fun, didn't they?
They certainly did. Try and get them off the field, I would imagine. One of the peculiarities of Leichhardt is the dead ball line very close to the stands there at the southern end, the Keith Barnes stand end of the field. We're back underway. It's Ryan Pappenhausen, Flying Ryan, who'll play it here at the Melbourne 20. He's been flying a couple of times tonight already.
Saw that kick hold up in the breeze, so well and truly the breeze behind the Melbourne Storm in this second half.
Melbourne work it away. You know, Asifa Solomona out of the game for the remainder here tonight with that hamstring strain as Wishart again weaves his way into the backfield. Warbrick beats Galvin, keeps it alive, and Melbourne just like that go inside the 20 where Pappenhausen will play it. Comes to Hughes through King and Welch. Runs to the tackle there of Bateman, and they take him to ground. in front of the uprights. Big first set here for Melbourne. Hughes to kick to the corner. Chance here for Warbrick, who's the biggest of them out there on that side of the field. The ball came free. It's Pappenhausen who thinks he scored. Well, the referee disagrees.
Confirming a knock-on from Melbourne, but also looking at a possible tackle in the air by the Tigers on the contest.
Well, Jerome Hughes going straight to work in the second half. Beautiful raid down that right-hand side before
Melbourne on the right side or onside.
demanding the ball on the final play and elevating it over the top of far Tape for Warbrick. So good in the air, Warbrick.
It's just a contest in the air at this point. We just now need to determine if the ball's knocked on by Melbourne.
Well, Warbrick always facing away from the goal line. Does the ball go backwards? No.
The ball is knocked on by Melbourne in the field of play. We have a decision.
Yeah.
Knocked on into the Tigers' defence.
Gee, there's been a real rap on Jack Howarth for a long time down in Melbourne, but it's taken a while for him to find his feet at this level. And playing in the centre position, we always thought that he was going to be a back rower for Melbourne, but just powerful athlete and a tremendous run in that set before really set up the run from Wishart and Hughes.
Speaking of powerful athletes, as Warbrick watches on, the Tigers get a penalty here with Melbourne. Interference there around the play of the ball, so the Tigers are kicked for line here to work it away from inside their own 20, but it's quite the physical contest on that far side of the field in this second half with Howarth and Warbrick against Olam out there, of course, as well. As we get downstairs to Jake Duke.
The message at half-time, Tigers coach Benji Marshall really happy with his side's first half, reminded them that 2 tries from the Melbourne Storm came off their errors, just wants them to be more clinical with the ball in hand. Storm coach Craig Bellamy said his side need to control possession a bit better and stop playing in their own half so much. And just the news on Bronson Garlick, 50-50 to return at the moment, had a back spasm at the end of that first half. But they've already lost Nelson Asafa-Solomona to a hamstring injury, so they'll be hopeful that Bronson can pull through.
Tigers going the attack down the left-hand side. It comes across through. And Olam, big fend there. He put it right into the chest of Jack Howarth, or maybe the chin. He got back to his feet, Howarth, but what a fend. Here's Seyfarth, just outside the 20 as Coruscant waits at dummy half. The Tigers set to the right-hand side. Matamua dumps it out the back to Caesar. Buller going with him, running a long way towards Anderson. And they eventually take him to ground. And the Tigers have one more play. Comes from Stain. Caesar grubbering, looking for the uprights. It misses the pad. Sat there for a moment before Hughes cleans up. But the Tigers have forced a goal line dropout.
Yeah, it's one of the real features of his game. Aiden Caesar, this was the run. Look at this from Justin Olam. Just a powerful bump on Jack Howarth. And then Caesar, a beautiful kick into the end goal. May have been a head clash there with Justin Olam. Right onto the cheek maybe of Howarth. And Melbourne going along with the dropout.
Down here to Fainu, who will bring it back and run towards Wishart, who's playing and defending in the middle of the field with that injury to Bronson Garlick for the moment for Melbourne. Galvin now Seyfarth looking to his outside. An improvement for the Tigers in 2024. Now from Coruscant back to Caesar. Here's Galvin again, short ball off the hip. But John Bateman still going there. The Englishman staying on his feet for a long time. Midway through the set, they wrap to Dewey, who drives his way towards the line. They get bodies there eventually through Wishart and Pappenhausen. Caesar waits for it, gives it to Matamua. A shuffle, Galvin, Buller, goes to the edge, sits there for Tape. He takes some stopping. He's only a couple of metres out. Olam says who wants it. On the last, Galvin it is, who has such a good short kicking game. This one, though, will be too big.
Almost perfect from Galvin, even had the shape on it, just the short in goals at Leichhardt. And it just skids over the back. Great patience from this man so far along it, just protecting the dead ball line. And Galvin still injecting himself into the game.
Melbourne through Bradley, almost back at the halfway line as Welsh rocking shot there from Matamua in particular. Rather than to play the ball, hands across to King, but he's picked off there by Coruscant. Was courageous as ever around the legs. Little interference there in the ruck. And a set restart for Melbourne. Kamikamitha, 30 metres away. Kind of a full house on the hill for Leichhardt. King again. Comes towards Coruscant and also Seyfarth. 3 set restarts to 2 to the moment. Here is Pappenhausen, comes out the back. Katoa. There's a real weapon on that right edge for Melbourne in the first half. Ball from Warbrick. What a pass that was. Now Hughes keeps it coming. Here is Anderson, turns it back underneath for Sean Bloor. Stays alive. Anderson goes to Bradley. Back to Anderson again. Third touch in the same play. Now it's Wishart. He straightens. Nobody falling for a dummy though this time. Tackle made by Matamua. Pappenhausen for Hughes. He'll kick out wide. All alone is Warbrick. The pass.
There might be a bit of trouble here, Warren.
Goes to ground. Well, is Hughes, has he been hit after the kick?
Well, I think Fatape's taken out Warbrick.
Possible penalty try.
Yeah.
Against the Tigers with an illegal move to stop him from touching the ball in the contest.
He was given no opportunity here to contest for the ball. Hughes, no doubt the target's Warbrick. There is a real mismatch in height with Fatape and Warbrick.
Having been beaten by Warbrick already, he just ran towards him and tunneled through.
There is early contact by
contest
Solomon
there.
on Will Warbrick. Now just need to determine if it's a penalty try or not.
The ball's in the field of play. He still has to. Still would have had to catch the ball.
I think it's professional foul.
Yes.
Sin bin.
Sin bin, 10
At point
minutes.
of contact, Will Warbrick is not in the in goal, is in the field of play. So we're ruling out a penalty try. However, this is a professional foul. We have a decision.
And that's a good call by the bunker, who we criticise on plenty of occasions, but in this one here, I mean, Warbrick still would have had to make the catch there on the bomb.
Yeah, completely agree. He was just given no opportunity to contest and catch the footy, and Fatape is going to spend some time in the sin bin here.
He doesn't even jump. He gets jumped over.
He makes no attempt to play the ball. It's professional foul.
That is sin bin number 13 this season for the Tigers. Here they are playing their 16th game of the season, and they continue to play a man short. They did it twice last week against the Roosters. Tonight again, they'll spend 10 minutes here defending against the Melbourne Storm. A man short. They just can't keep doing it to themselves.
No, well, 12 sin bins in their last 10 games, and I sound like a broken record, but the Tigers, when they get their footy on, they are competing here with Melbourne, but just moments again of ill discipline. That was the same situation in the first half. The first half littered with little moments where they just lack discipline or concentration, and this is a big moment. Fatape in the bin. Tigers down to 12.
Let's see how they fare. We're in the 47th minute. And Melbourne on the attack. In front of the uprights as Kamikamitha plays it. Comes from Hughes. Back to Pappenhausen. Ball on the inside there for Katoa. The tackle made by Fa'inu, who's been under pressure all night. There is Welsh now. Pound it through the big boys. Close range from the goal line. It's Wishart feeding it to Hughes. Pass to King, and then Anderson chiming in. He plants it down, and it takes barely a few tackles from Melbourne to score against this 12-man Tigers.
Yeah, his form has been ultra impressive, Grant Anderson. Came into the Melbourne Storm side as a winger, and a number of times this year he's been asked to play in different positions, whether it be 5'8" or centre. And he's done a terrific job. He slipped into the 5'8" role tonight with Garlick off the field and Wishart going to dummy half, and that's a beautifully executed play. Again, Jerome Hughes out the back, deep into the line. Great deception, gets King one-on-one, keeps the ball alive. And just too difficult a task for Jerome Bullock close to the line, but the work of Jerome Hughes attracting the attention of Caesar. Oh boy, he's all class, the Melbourne Storm halfback tonight.
And just waste no time and getting The 4th try of the night to make it 20 points to 12. Nice little try celebration there in the Harvey Norman replay by Grant Anderson. Of course, it is Try July, money being raised. Great causes once again. And now Wishart to try and convert 15 in from the touchline to make this a 10-point lead. That seemed unlikely at the half-hour mark, and the Tigers still had the lead at that stage. Big 7 or 8 minutes coming up while they're down a man here. Melbourne a chance to blow it wide open. Wishart, he converts the try scored by Grant Anderson. Just to emphasise the point about the Tigers and their discipline this year, 13 sin bins. You watch that pass again from King, and Anderson just pounced with all that space in front of him there on top of the Tigers line. Tigers have had 13 sin binnings. Melbourne, by comparison, just 3.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, well, he's been harping on about it, hasn't he, Benji, in press conferences, just the ill discipline of the side and how it had to change, or the personnel would have to.
Doing with the restart. Melbourne now sending them a real chance. Blood in the water here at Leichhardt as Kamikamitha brings it forward. He'll play it just short of the 20. He's going down the short side. Blore bouncing out of the contact, keeping it alive. Back to Kamikamitha again. Doubling up on his work here to begin this new set of 6. Wishart from dummy half. Bypasses Welch. Comes across to King. They're so well drilled on these yardage sets. Melbourne, that has always been the case. Now a chance as Wishart works it away from dummy half. Pappenhausen. Come to the middle. King will just take it forward. And stop him there through Sione Fainu at the halfway line. And Hughes having quite a night once again here this evening. Kick down, goes down to Dewey, who's back there playing on the left wing with Tape missing on that far side of the field. They drive him back towards the Parramatta River end.
Yeah, there's very few players. I mean, Connor Watson comes to mind, but it's just such a luxury for a coach at this level to have someone as good as Tyron Wishart, who can play multiple positions and not just do a job, but be highly effective. Penalty is the crafty work of Happy Coruscant. Comes to the forefront there. Too smart around the ruck, gets the markers offside.
I knew that Kamikamitha had never got himself back square there and just ran straight towards him. Boy, they needed that.
Didn't they ever? And Craig's absolutely filthy. Yardage penalties. Jake Duke saying that he wanted to play all this second half down in the Tigers' end and stop giving them opportunities. And it's moments like that that are just keeping the Tigers right in the game here at Leichhardt.
Dewey trying to use up some time on the clock, but the referee has blown time off while the Tigers sauntered up the field. They're trying to do everything they can to limit the time when they're down to 12. Alec McDonald, who just recently re-signed for Melbourne during the build-up to this game, who will remain with the Storm until into 2027 as the Tigers go on the attack through Coruscant here, ducking and weaving at the 20. The Locals wanted 6 again. They didn't get it. Now Caesar back through the middle. Good stopping there. It was Wishart who cut him down. Coruscant. Bypass volley comes to Sione Fainu. Pulled up by Kamikamitha and also Wishart. Last play for the Tigers. Coruscant comes across through Caesar. Tapped on by Galvin. That was a bridge too far there. Impossible ball to take by Justin Olam. And they've turned it over there. Melbourne will have it at their own 10.
Yeah, well, there he is, Jack Howarth, up in the face of Galvin. He's been strong tonight on that right edge. So too this man, Will Warbrick. That combination extremely powerful out there. And a good read from Jack Howarth up in the face of Galvin. There he is again, finding his front and getting a quick play the ball.
At the back of it, McDonald, fresh man on the field. Striding through the middle there for a moment as Wishart. Hughes, outside, inside for Pappenhausen. He's knocked it on. Although the referee will say there was a touch there first by the Tigers, not Pappenhausen. They have the option to challenge. They're talking about it, seconds ticking by, and they're going to keep their powder dry.
Yeah, it's always one of the dangerous plays, isn't it? Hughes to Pappenhausen, back on the inside. Samuela Fainu. Pretty well read there. Able to get off Hughes and then back onto the inside as we see Karma Kamitha now getting a well-deserved break.
Just over 3.5 remaining.
Far longer here, just off the scrum.
Numbers on that right-hand side. Formation there, but they just work it forward through Howarth to play it inside the Tigers 40. Welsh showing it back on the inside there for McDonald. Still going. Good carry. Queensland forward. They'll play it just outside the 20. King at the line, taken down by Coruscant. What a tackle that was. He was on the wrong shoulder as well. Still cutting down. Welsh comes out the back there. Hughes. And it was contact through the middle. The Tigers defenders knocked to the ground by Alec McDonald. Play on. Now Wishart goes right. He grubbers, pushing through. Well, they all missed the kick there. Nobody realised the kick was coming. Bit of an ad-lib play, but they will get a goal line dropout.
Yeah, no one chasing there. Wishart just holding the play up and hoping that Warbrick could be able to come through, but he was far too deep, and lucky for Wishart that it actually sat on its point. Dewey, no option but to hit it dead. But a chance to go short here for Coruscant, and a chance to try and get the footy back.
Does go short, but going down to Pappenhausen though. No challenge by the Tigers. And so there's still time on the clock while they're down to 12. Trying to hold out Melbourne here and limit the damage Fa'atafe's been missing. McDonald throws himself into the line once again. Set restart there as Caesar hangs on. Ends up on the seat of his pants at marker. Here's Anderson taking them on from close range. Comes through Wishart, looks right, nothing doing, so he finds Welsh. Here's Blore, Caesar out to meet him, and does well, the halfback. Cuts down the former Tiger there, 15 away from the line. Melbourne still with plenty of plays remaining. Missed by Fainu. Pappenhausen though wrapped up. Wishart looking for Hughes. Nothing doing there. He was going to run in behind King, so he just surrenders in the tackle. They've burned a couple of plays here. For a bit of flow with the back end of this set. Pappenhausen, grubbers. There's all options everywhere, and it's Fa'alongo who just has to rein it in and plant it down, and Melbourne have a second try while they've had this one-man advantage.
Yeah, highly disjointed set there from the Melbourne Storm, but it's Ryan Pappenhausen who summed it up beautifully. Little Fa'alongo, saw Fa'alongo, he'd been waving every single play, just wants a touch. He just wanted the ball, and it was Pappenhausen down that left edge. Brought the line forward. You can see Staines, Bateman coming forward. Shorter numbers. And a perfectly weighted kick in behind the line. Ryan Pappenhausen's been a beautiful return for the Melbourne fullback. Gets the kick. Inch perfect. And bounces beautifully for Fa'alongo. And if Melbourne can find a way to get this little fella injected in this final 24.5 minutes, this scoreline could really crank up. He is absolute dynamite.
It's getting away from the Tigers now, and once again, they're paying a big, big price for being a man short in yet another game this season. Sua Fa'alongo. Well, he's too good to be playing in either Queensland Cup or anywhere else other than the NRL. So here he is getting a chance off the bench. Fa'atape will be back out there in a few moments' time. Tim Grant just says, hang on a second, didn't get the all clear just yet. And rejoin the action after the kick here by Wishart. In front of the Latcham Robinson stand. Crowd's going to be quiet, as you would expect in the last 10 minutes. And what a strike it is by Wishart. He bends it back from the right upright. That's a big lead now for the team on top of the ladder. They have a 28 points to 12 advantage almost midway through this second half. We've got a beauty coming up for the third game. It's the Cowboys taking on the Seagulls from Queensland Country Bank Stadium. And the Trbojevic brothers. Tom is back tonight. And with the injury news breaking during the afternoon that Latrell Mitchell has a foot problem for the Rabbitohs. who knows what might play out. Yeah, Tom Zavojevic gets through the game for the Manly Seagulls tonight up there in Townsville. That's next, right here on Super Saturday. Let's go downstairs to you, Jake.
Confirmation from the Melbourne Storm guys that Bronson Garlick has been ruled out of this game with those back spasms, so they will be down to 15 for the rest of this one because Nelson also missing with that hamstring injury as well.
We are back to 13 on field, but Melbourne with just the 2 replacements on the bench at the moment. Here we come with Dimitri. Breather, so is Trent Loiero. They are the 2 men available. Craig Bellamy in this final 23 minutes with that news that Garlick has been ruled out. A kick from inside the 40 by Hughes. Didn't strike it as he would like. He turned Jareen Buller, though, inside out. He's got some support there. In Fartape. He beats the chase of Warbrick. Links up here with Galvin. He can find the space. Looking for a support player on this right-hand side. He takes the tackle there of Farlongo. Back to their full complement. The Tigers trying to keep this game alive. Uta Ikamadu will play it here just outside the 40 as Coruscant from dummy half. There's Bateman running towards Anderson. Nothing doing there as Bradley helps out in the tackle. Tigers midway through the set. Need to have a clear plan at the back end of these sets, what they're trying to do. Their last play options. Not a great one last time around when Galvin hurried a pass to Olam to knock it on. Here's Safar. Caesar coasting towards the right edge. Buller just reaches out to reel it in. They're all going sideways, nothing doing there. It was easy pickings for Bradley to shut it down. Comes to Caesar. The kick back towards the wing. Dewey was the target. They'll try and get the ball back from a dropout. They will. And they do come up with a good last play option here.
Hasn't had much opportunity tonight, Adam Dewey, but what he has, he's been extremely physical. You can see there, just into the contact there. And driving, he's looked strong when he's taken on the line. It's been a good return, hasn't it, seeing him back out there at this level. Playing right centre. And Melbourne now, not being to go short.
To the left-hand side they go. Blore was there, swung backwards by the Tigers. Rather emphatically, was that Alex Seyfarth in the end who said, hang on a second, we're not turning over possession that cheaply here. The Tigers retain the ball. Uto Ikamanu just outside the 10. Coruscant set restart. Melbourne give away an extra play. Here is Caesar back through the middle. Bateman now. He's towards the post. He'll play it for Coruscant. He holds it up. It comes out to Seyfarth. They've got them shot to bits. Caesar on to Lachlan Galvin. The kid scores, and the Tigers are not done with yet.
Just watch the work here from Abby Coruscant. The time that he has with the ball, there is just no dummy half like it. Pappenhausen going short with the dropout. Does a great job here, Seyfarth, to swipe it back towards Buller. And then back-to-back plays. Look at this from Coruscant. Just look what he does to the Melbourne Storm defensive line. They are bamboozled by the deception and the ball playing of Coruscant and the time that he has with the ball. And on the back of it, Caesar, well, it all opened up for him. He just had to lay that on. For Lachlan Galvin, who picks up his 3rd try of the season. And again, one of the shining lights for the West Tigers, but the work of Coruscant, just majestical. It is so good to watch.
Does it on both sides of the ball. I mean, making those legs tackles at the other end of the field to stop the Melbourne Storm, and then in attack, well, a couple of times tonight already, the way he's been able to slow play Melbourne when it's called for. Very sharp in the first half, and then plays his role there to perfection. 28-16. Chance to bring it back to a 10-point deficit. They'll certainly keep the crowd in the contest, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They need to convert the tries if they are to launch a combat, and it's a helicopter spinner. Bounces between the uprights, and it's 28 points to 18. Galvin scores the try. Yes, the Galvinator across the line here at Leichhardt Oval tonight. Just holding it up, drawing in that defence, and the space on the edge for Galvin to go through. Giving the locals a bit of faith.
Yeah.
Cause an upset here at the 8th wonder of the world, where, as
10
we
points.
said from the kickoff, Mick, miracles on occasion do happen.
10 points, 18 minutes to go here. Plenty of time. Oh yes.
By Doreen Buller. That was a low, scudding kick off the restart, and caught in the fingertips, held on to it. Work it away from their own 20. There's Fainu. Watch this again. Awkward one to handle. Bit of breeze there. Propelling that towards the dead ball line. And, well, boy, he's got some hands, hasn't he, Buller? Here's a shift. Caesar. Buller again. Comes out to Dewey. Angles away from the sideline to take the tackle there of Bradley. And also far longer.
Great work. Early shift, easy meters. Bateman now, he's going to get them up towards halfway. Really nice ball movement inside their own half. The Tigers going after Melbourne here.
This is how they began the game, very confident with their ball playing. Here's Buller doing exactly that for Uta Ikamanu, who goes inside the Melbourne 40. One more here for West. Comes back to Caesar. Into the midfield bomb, it'll hang there on the breeze. Dewey was there searching for it. Galvin taps it backwards. Bateman, though, has knocked it on.
Hand over, John. No, where it is there. Teddy.
Galvin was swinging that short side, and Bateman just knocked the ball forward. Ready to go off the referee. Seeing it clearly. Relatively easy turnover after what was a tremendous set. There's the tap back. And Bateman just unable to hang on to the footy.
Oh, it's Blore.
Just feel a little momentum swing here on the back of that try to Lockie Galvin. The Tigers rejuvenated with some energy.
They need points, and they're not going to hit up after hit up from their own end. They need to create chances from inside their own territory, and they did in that previous set. Here's Howard stepping back towards the middle now. Arrow back out there. In fact, it's Anderson through the middle there. He'll take the tackle just inside the 30. The arrow shifting it on. Hughes comes through Howard, away to Warbrick. Galvin's there in cover. Warbrick, though, such a big body on the right wing. They do well to stop him with some help from Fatape. Hughes back to the middle, charging hard. Alec McDonald will be denied, and the Tigers within a metre of cracking again, but they do hang on.
Yeah, beautiful work out to that right-hand side again. They've looked terrific out there tonight, the Melbourne Storm. And it was just a little lofted, the pass out to Warbrick. And that allowed the Tigers' defence to come across, but it was great cover from Galvin and Buller as Clemmer about to come back onto the field. And the home fans just baying for a penalty.
So it's Seyfarth who comes from the field for the Tigers. Clemmer straight back out there, and here is chance for Bolle to fend away from the tackle there of Anderson. And a handful tonight, the Tigers number 10. Caesar searches out towards Galvin, goes out the back. Here is Buller. He's dangerous on both sides of the field, swinging to the edges again. Olam here, headed up on tackle number 4, still inside their own half. But Caesar, they want to go sideline to sideline. Coruscant, Dewey. White and purple jumpers in front of him, so he takes the tackle. And while they shifted the point of the attack, they barely made a metre on the play. Here's the last. Coruscant goes deep. Caesar saw Wishart come out of the line, so they'll run it on the last. Taking a chance here. Olam kicks back in field. It beats a couple of Melbourne Storm players, but not Farlongo. And watch him go. Buller is chasing. He won't get to him. Sewer Farlongo dives in for number 2 tonight. It was an awkward bouncing ball. Caesar thought he was a chance, but it was Farlongo who ended up with it, and nobody was going to catch him.
This pocket rocket, he is just absolute dynamite. And the moment the ball started to bounce around and there was defenders scattered everywhere, Caesar looking to run it on the last, they adventure out to that left-hand side. Olam kicks back infield, and from that moment, It was broken play, and the one person the Tigers didn't want to get the footy in their hands was Su'Afa'alongo. And as he danced, stepped and weaved and sliced his way through the Tigers, he accelerates towards the northern end of Leichhardt. And I think even deep in the souls of the Tigers fans, gee, it's hard not to like what this little bloke, what he brings. He is so good to watch. Great to see him back at the top level.
7 tries now in the NRL for the Melbourne Storm, and on 3 occasions there's double.
Looking at a possible knock-on by Melbourne.
Ooh. Let's go back and see what the replay reveals here.
All aspects of play have been cleared up to this point. Just looking at the hand of Alec McDonald.
Ooh.
Just determining if that touches the hand or if it doesn't.
Sometimes the best way to judge these is it more like normal speed.
You can see the fingers of Alec McDonald flick, and the ball changes its trajectory. Now looking at perspective.
Changes the angle there, and off the bounce, which is heading back towards the Tigers line. Just watch this again, touched. And
from the touch, the ball travels
forward
towards the Tigers' dead ball line. This is a knock-on. We have a decision.
The 70-metre run of Su'Afa'alongo was spectacular to watch, but it will result in no points for Melbourne.
Gee, that acceleration, you saw him just beat Buller with that footwork, and his ability to change direction and re-accelerate is quite incredible. Fa'alongo, but the Tigers still within 10 points and a full set now, 20 metres out from... Well, he's gone for a lap. He's gone for a walk.
So did a number of Tigers fans off that being scored, but they might be turning about, doing a U-turn in Mary Street, heading back down the hill. As they realise that Melbourne Storm didn't score. It's still only a 10-point game, and the Tigers have it just outside the 20. It's Caesar. And the inside here for Uto Ikamanu. Oh, they've got it on the first play. He wants to challenge. He thinks it was ripped out. They still have their challenge available, and they will.
Captain's challenge, White. Tigers challenging the on-field ruling and knock-on, saying the ball is stripped.
Gee, they need this. Like they've never needed to challenge the Tigers
to go their way. At this point, there's more than one defender in the tackle. Ryan Pappenhausen, left hand, makes a stripping motion on the ball and dislodges it. This is a penalty. The challenge is successful.
And they got it. And they needed that, and they got it.
Wood going up Mary Street. They've got a penalty. They're inside the red zone. They're making their way back down the hill. So the Tigers will have a chat here about what they want to do. Trail by 10. Coruscant says, what are we working for here in this set? See what the brains trust Caesar and Galvin and Coruscant come up with. Jareem Buller quite obviously has to be the target. He'll shift to the right-hand side. It's Caesar here. Takes it to the line where they just punch it forward through Bateman. Buller is waiting out the back, waiting for a chance. He'll head back to the left-hand side. Clemmer goes to Galvin. Play here. Olam infield. Didn't get a chance because it went to Fainu instead. Coruscant from dummy half. Terrible ball. Cleaned up there by Caesar. Out the back. Twice between the legs. Play on. Galvin straightens. Comes towards McDonald and also Hughes. So 4 plays gone. Clemmer looking inside here for Bolle. Nothing doing there, stepping off the right foot. They've wasted a couple of tackles in this set. Coruscant from dummy half. Set restart. He again realised they weren't square at marker and gets another set for the Tigers. Here's Clemmer. Comes to Caesar. First man to Bateman. Buller. Dewey off the right foot. He beats Anderson. Staying alive. He'll be taken down there by Trent Liero a couple of metres away. From Staines, fires a long ball. Clemmer heads up piece of play there, wasn't expecting it. They'll take one towards the uprights for a settler. They organise themselves with a long left-hand side. Coruscant, short ball. Bolle taken down. Good work by King in the end to stop him from rolling in. Here's Uto Ikamanu. Beat the tackle of Liero. Can he get it down? His head hits the turf. The ball didn't. He's short of the line. Last tackle. Comes to Caesar. Out the back. Staines tips it on. Dewey for the corner. Did he get it down? The referee doesn't think so. Farlongo brings it away, and he will check.
Just watch the work of Ryan Pappenhausen here.
Yeah. Check it. All right. We have no try. We're looking at a possible here knock on by Adam Dewey over the line.
As the ball gets out to Dewey, he just accelerates towards the corner, and Pappenhausen comes flying across. And he does just enough.
Adam Dewey knocks the ball on over the goal line. We have a decision.
It was nice work on the inside there from Bradley, but it was Pappenhausen that made the critical contact in the corner, or Dewey scores. Had the ball locked in his right mid, and as he reached out, it was a great try saver from Ryan Pappenhausen, who's had a tremendous return tonight.
Well, as close as that. So a big push right in the chest there from Ryan Pappenhausen to force it loose from Adam Dewey. A try saver after he scored one in the first half at the same end of the field. Ryan Pappenhausen as Welsh here brings it back to the 40 to Melbourne. Tigers.
Great run.
Raft of possession there, but now they're under pressure as Howard keeps stepping, staying alive. Anderson doing the same. Runs to Coruscant. Just like that, Melbourne back on the attack, and still with 4 tackles remaining in this set. King to the inside here for McDonald. Set restart as well. What was the call from the referee, as you heard? And now King out the back. Pappenhausen there waiting for an offload. And they're deep inside the 10 here with a full set. Has to push this out beyond 10-point lead once again. It's Hughes standing in the tackle. They've got numbers to the right-hand side. Wishart realised that, throws a dummy and goes straight through to score. They had them shot to bits with the speed of the play the balls inside the 20, and Wishart heads up piece of play by the 5/8 come hooker.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Moved into the dummy half tonight position when Bronson Garlick went off the field with back spasms, but he's always threatening, out challenging the defensive line with his running threat. And it's the show and go again. It was a huge turning point in the opening half when the Tigers were on top and playing in the 5/8 role. He sliced through the tackle of Bateman and Utoi Kamanu to go upfield, only for them to score moments later. And now with the game still right in the balance with 10 minutes to go and only 10 points the difference, Tyron Wishart out of dummy half. Shows and goes, gets through some pretty ordinary defence on their goal line from the Tigers, but boy, he has had another great night, Wishart.
Great example there, and coaches talk about transitions after changes of possession.
Yeah.
Tigers go so close to scoring, Melbourne don't think, let's just try and consolidate here. They go on the attack from their own end of the field and make that long run through the middle with Howard.
Yeah.
Stepping again through the middle, staying alive, and off the back of it, they get a set restart inside the 20, and this man sells a big dummy from close range and drives through and probably takes the game away from the Tigers. And the Tigers just didn't respond in their transition from attack to defence. They'd almost clocked off mentally, weren't ready for what Melbourne were going to throw at them from their own end of the field. Wishart converts his own try, and it's 34 points to 18.
8 tries in his 15 games this season. Tyron Wishart has been in incredible try-scoring form, as we see that man there, Tom Trbojevic. He is ready to return tonight. The Manly Seagulls travelling up to Townsville to take on the Cowboys. Can he press his claims for an Origin return? We know the news this afternoon that Latrell Mitchell unlikely to play in the decider with that foot injury. Tommy Trbojevic, we know what a job he's done for New South Wales. In the past, he's been coming back from another hamstring issue, but you never overlook a player of Tom Trebojevic's calibre if he has performance tonight. That one straight after this one on your Super Saturday.
There'll be lots of eyes on that game as the Tigers go short, and they'll get the ball back here, or will they? It's still there on the ground. Eventually, socket back to the man who supplied the kickoff in Adam Dewey. Another chance here The most important pair of eyes as far as Tom Travoy will concerned tonight, apart from Anthony Seibold, is Michael Maguire, the New South Wales coach.
Yeah, my word.
See how he fares in a selection trial, potentially. That's next right here on Fox League. Uta Ikamanu for Caesar. Comes out the back to Buller. Towards the corner. Staines flying. The Tigers hit straight back. Big conversion coming up from out wide. They can drag this back to only 10 the difference, and still time on the clock.
Well, they're just starting to pour back down the street from down Mary Street again. They just left, and then all of a sudden, Jerome Buller, the young star, goes flying down the right edge. Watch the speed here as he gets on the outside of Kane Bradley, dragging in far longer, and Charlie Staines, the one-hand put down. What a great finisher, Staines. When he gets an opportunity towards the line, he rarely misses. And the Tigers hit back.
Well, they've got the pickle juice out in Mary Street because they're cramping up. They don't know whether to keep walking, to come back. Tigers here, a little bit of hope at the death. 8 and a bit remaining. 34-22. Coruscant been in everything tonight once again. What a signing he has been from the Penrith Panthers. I'll get Jerome Luai and Tania Taruva next year as well, joining the Tigers, bolstering the stocks. This one bending back. It will just slide across the face of the upright. Stays a 12-point lead here for Melbourne at 34 points to 22. Nicely worked by Buller, and in the end, Farlongo just had to respect the speed of Buller, and he opened the door there for Staines. What a leap from a long way out as well.
Yeah, highly impressive work from Jerome Buller, who's had a couple of nice moments again tonight.
Well, don't forget, the race for the premiership is on. Here we are, the whips are cracking, the run towards the finals. You can get your NRL tickets, NRL.com/tickets to be part of the action. You could join the faithful of the Tigers and Melbourne. Watch the Melbourne Storm do what they do at the top of the table. And they're at Amy Park. Run towards the finals coming up. They've got the bye next week, Melbourne. Then after that, they've got a blockbuster against the Sydney Roosters at Amy Park in round 20, which might well be the return of one Cameron Munster.
Yeah, it will be an absolute corker.
Game always slated as the possible return off the back of the bye. Now a mistake made by Bateman, and that's a bit of a passion killer right there.
Just looking to offload the ball. You're looking to offload the ball.
They've got their challenge remaining. Bateman says to Appy, come on, challenge, challenge, challenge. But here he is, the arms extended from his body, and I don't think they're ever going to win that challenge.
Heads in.
Well, Craig Bellamy, he won't be wrapped, I wouldn't imagine, with the 22 points that the Tigers have scored. As we watch him still in heavy conversation with his coaching staff in the box. They did a great job last week to keep the Raiders to 6, but again, over 20 points again tonight. Farlongo.
He had Heath Mason in all sorts of trouble there. Denied a moment ago. He dives in again. He won't be denied this time around. Just the speed. There are scorch marks on the turf here at Leichhardt, given what he just did from the scrum win.
Yeah, poor old Heath Mason. He's literally just come onto the field for the final 7 minutes for Benji Marshall. And out on this left side, they finally go to Farlongo and give him a one-on-one duel. He just skips on the outside beautifully of Mason, and then just cuts on the inside of Jerome Buller. Watch this. This is a kid full of confidence. The tongue's out. He's looking back. Oh, they can't touch him. He is just a beautiful mover. Look at this. Farlongo just eyeballing Heath Mason. Just can't go with him for speed. And then just bang, just cuts on the inside, puts the brakes on, and looks back at Buller.
Disdainfully.
He's a beauty. He is so good to watch, isn't he? Suafalonga, what a moment. Denied earlier, and not that time.
Another double for him in this very short NRL career to this point. 7 tries now. Got 3 doubles in those 7 tries. When he does score, he scores them in bunches. He's done that again here tonight. 5 minutes out from full time, 38-22, and I think they have finally decided up in Mary Street hot dog time. Wishart misses to the right-hand side. It stays a 16-point lead. We're getting ever closer to the Cowboys and the Seagulls. A big game tonight following this one. Suafalonga turning on here. Not too many Melbourne Storm supporters in attendance, but those who are would have loved seeing that. He says, come on, boys. You've got to be better than that to stop me.
Now, gee, what a luxury for Craig Bellamy to have Suafalonga coming off his interchange bench. Such an X factor. And the loss of a couple of injuries tonight to Asper Solomona and Garlick gave him an opportunity to get plenty of minutes as the short kick-off.
Tapped backwards again by the Tigers, but floating backwards. Wishart was there and ends up with it for Melbourne. Most points they've ever scored here at Leichhardt in their 14th appearance. But what is the 8th wonder of the world, as the locals call it. Craig Bellamy still on his feet, though, despite the lead now.
I'm not sure they're done with, Warren. I think they've got another try or 2 in them, the Storm.
He's looking ahead of what they have, of course, the bye coming up. We mentioned that clash, the blockbuster on the horizon against the Roosters at Amy Park. Then it's the Eels, the Dragons, and the Rabbitohs beyond that. There'll be a finals game preview when they take on the Roosters, given the form of both teams so far in 2024. As Kamikamitha plays it, Wishart goes to Hughes, an attacking kick here. On that right-hand side, Katoa knocks it backwards. Pappenhausen ends up with it, spins it back to Welsh, trying to keep it alive. Manages to do so. Wishart from the ground wasn't held. Here is Pappenhausen. He's going to put in a second kick. Hughes staying alive. He'll keep it going out to Warbrick. Chips over the top for himself. Pressured there on Buller coming across. He was tackled in mid-air.
There's some concern for Jerome Hughes, and twice. The first kick of the night, and we saw Josh Aloiai get suspended for this early in the season for collecting the kicker. And we saw Harry Grant have to front the tribunal or the judiciary for making leg contact. It was a similar incident, and I think it was Appy Coruscant that made contact with the legs.
What do you want to do, mate? Time's off. Take 2.
It was on the first kick, we believe.
Was the first kick
there? He ended up on the ground there after he passed out the back to Warbrick. See it again here. Here's the contact from Coruscant. Boy, yeah, he runs into that right leg of Jerome Hughes, and that will be a problem for Uppy and also the Tigers.
It's almost an identical incident, isn't it, to when Johnson took that field goal. And it was Josh Aloiai that came through and collected the leg of Sean. Good news for that man, Jerome Hughes, and for the Melbourne Storm, that there was no damage done.
So the Tigers will be nervous tomorrow morning as they wait for the match review committee to release their charges from the Super Saturday 3 games. And we're seeing tonight right here on Fox League, and he might have an issue there up at Coruscant. Tigers can't afford to have him missing at any stage. Wishart here, using time up on the clock and add 2 points as well. They've reached 40 tonight, second consecutive game. The Tigers have conceded 40 after giving up 40 to the Roosters next week. While we're looking at what teams have ahead of them, the Tigers, they've got the Sharks in round 19. That's going to be a massive game for the Sharks in particular, isn't it? And if Coruscant isn't available, that'll help them out. Cowboys and Seagulls, they're warming up there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium.
All the Origin stars back for the Cowboys. You can see Holmes, Cotter, Dearden also all lining up tonight. Tom Trebojevic, though, he is back tonight for the Seagulls.
They were very good last week, missing all those players against Penrith, who were also sitting down all of their Origin stars, apart from Isaiah Yeo. Big win for them in that game at the foot of the mountains. They're back at home tonight. Much warmer up there than it is here in chilly Sydney on this Saturday evening as Howarth plays it. Comes across to Welsh. We've got 2 minutes exactly remaining in this game. Wishart, the service from dummy half has been very good in place of Bronson Garlick. We'll wait and see what happens with Harry Grant and his sternum issue, and how he fares in Origin 3 as Hughes comes across to Wardrick. Back on the inside though, straight into the hands of Adam Dewey. Keep attacking down that right-hand side throughout the second half, Melbourne, after they had some success in the first half as well. Keen to pile on the points here right until the very end as Mason jumps into dummy half. Beats one tackle there from Josh King. They'll play it here at the halfway line. There's the Tigers' next 5. Sharks up next as Caesar kicks out wide. Staines, good hands on the gallop. Finds Jareem Buller. The pass was flat. No more than that. And now it's Bateman out of dummy half. Weaving as he runs towards Anderson. Mason gives it to Buller. There is Staines looking in, playing out. Might be a surplus of numbers here as Coruscant. He straightens, throws a hand grenade over the top. Uto Ikamanu comes to Galvin. Runs a long way there. Stays alive. Flips it out the back. Here's Dewey. They put their hand up through the middle. A ricochet off the Melbourne Storm straight to Jareem Buller.
Well deserved, Jareem Buller. He has had some lovely moments again tonight. And very much like far longer, I think whether you're a Tigers fan, a Melbourne Storm fan, it doesn't matter. You just love what these blokes, these young, fresh faces have brought to our game. And Dewey across field. And there it is, the ricochet right into the hands of Jareem Buller. He's a special one, Jareem. And off the head, in fact, of Kamikamitha. And well-deserved, nice moment there for Jareem Buller right on full time.
To kick the come, it'll be 28 points Melbourne have conceded here tonight. Their second most points conceded in a game this season. Craig Bellamy will be unhappy at that, but they've come to Leichhardt where they have, before tonight, only won 5 out of 13. So a win at a ground they haven't had too much success at. They maintain, of course, their advantage at the top of the ladder. Jareem Buller has been one of the best for the Tigers, especially in attack. Ends up with 4-pointer towards the end of the game. We've got 21 seconds remaining. Make sure you stay with us because the kickoff in Townsville is right around the corner.
Yeah, set to be an absolute belter up there in Townsville. Both sides welcoming back a host of stars. And there has been some real positives tonight for this West Tigers side, although there's just been key moments that they'll look back on where they just took the foot off the pedal and just gave Melbourne far too many opportunities through lacks of concentration and discipline. And you just simply cannot give those opportunities and moments to a side that has the stars in it like Melbourne does.
Over your chance. A big shift here off the restart by the Tigers. Well, boy, there's a play. They kept it in field somehow. Out there on the left-hand side, Tape tapping it back in field. And here is the last tackle now as Galvin comes down a narrow short side. Some numbers there for the Tigers. But that'll do us here tonight as the siren sounds. And Melbourne, 12-point winners, 40 points to 28. They've taken down the Tigers.